Welcome to Fix It Home Improvement, covering projects that every homeowner should know and great products for home and garden.
Hi, I'm JC, and this is where we share weekly home improvement tips. I'm here with my co-host Cindy.
Hello, JC.
Hi, Cindy. Today we're going to be talking about bathtubs, and we'd like to thank Frank DiPiazza for liking and sharing the podcast. In the Roman Empire, from about 500 BC to about 500 AD, they encouraged daily baths, and public baths were made available for all citizens. Pliny the Younger, when he was writing about his uncle, Pliny the Elder, said the only time that he wasn't working, studying, or reading was when he took a bath. And then after the fall of the Roman Empire, bathing wasn't a daily or even a weekly routine, and some medical manuals around 1000 AD advised people to only wash skin visible to the public. So just your face, hands, and feet. And it wasn't until the late 1700s that public opinion started to shift about regular bathing. In 1883, the Standard Sanitary Manufacturing Company, which became American Standard, and Kohler both started making cast iron bathtubs that were enamel covered. So it made it very easy to clean, very sanitary, and American Standard and Kohler still have top-rated bathtubs.
Exciting.
If you're looking to replace a bathtub, you're going to find an amazing variety at the home centers, but you should take a look at their online selection because it's going to be larger, and they can ship a model to the store for you to pick up.
Right.
Although you should go to the store, get an idea of the feel of the materials, how it looks, relative size and shape. And I would suggest just taking off your shoes and getting into a couple to try them out because the shapes really vary. Some of them have lumbar support. So it's not, especially the cost of some of these, I would say get a feel for it before you purchase.
I was shocked at how expensive some of them are.
Yeah, amazing.
But all of our listeners are going to be sitting in bathtubs in stores. Nice.
The most common types of bathtubs are alcove, drop-in, freestanding, walk-in, and whirlpool. And your standard bathtub is the alcove style, so usually it comes with that tub-shower combination. You step in one side, you've got walls on the two ends and a back wall. 60 inches by 30 inches or 60 inches by 32 are found in many homes, especially the older ones. But you can order anything from 23 to 66 inches wide and 27 to 104 inches long at most home centers.
Wow, you could have a party in there.
And only one side is finished. It's usually called skirted. And you can also get alcove style for corners. Standard alcove tubs are going to have the overflow drain about 8.5 inches from the bottom of the tub. You can get soaker tubs, so they're either going to have higher sides or the drain overflow is going to be higher, and you're going to get about 14 to 20 inches worth of water in the tub, so much more comfortable for soaking. And you can get some of these designed for 2 people, and they're going to have sloped ends for more comfort.
Nice.
Drop-in tubs have a framework around them and only the top is finished, and they come in a variety of shapes. They can be just a standard tub or you can get it in a Whirlpool style. And when you create this frame to drop it in, you can drop it in between walls like a standard alcove tub, or you can have it freestanding, or you can have one end against a wall with 3 sides open. So this allows you a lot of variety to tile up the sides or use other material as an accent. And I saw one of these. They built it into the floor.
Wow.
So it was very dramatic. With freestanding tubs, all the sides are going to be finished, and they have supports or feet underneath the tub or behind a finished skirt, and they're going to come in a wide range of shapes. They're going to be more expensive than a standard tub. And where most alcove or drop-in tubs are going to have the faucet built into the wall, a freestanding tub can have the faucet exposed, so you're going to see the hot and cold water pipe coming up from the floor, or you're going to have wall supports. The faucet can be mounted on the edge or the side of the tub, or it can be attached to the edge through holes from the bottom. And with some styles, they have a skirt, so it's 2 parts. You put all your plumbing together, and then you put the skirt over it so it hides everything.
Right.
And I would check at the recommended faucet style before you purchase, because some of these require special faucets. The clawfoot bathtub was a popular freestanding tub in the 1800s, and because early homes didn't have indoor plumbing, servants had to heat buckets full of water to fill a bathtub, and the raised feet allowed them to drain the tub much easier. In 1885, Chicago built the first comprehensive sewer system.
Really?
But most homes didn't have indoor baths. And I didn't realize Chicago had public baths back then, and they were charging $0.05 a bath. With the walk-in tubs, these are designed for seniors and people who have problems with mobility. The tub is going to have high sides and a door that allows easy access into the tub, and then there's a seal around the door where the tub can be filled.
Well, I would hope so.
Yeah, pretty amazing. They're going to have built-in seats, grab bars, anti-slip surfaces. Many doctors are recommending these, so especially the Whirlpool style, for injuries, arthritis, diabetes, circulation disease. Pros are recommending to look for models with fast fill faucets because you have to be in the tub before you can start to fill it. And some elderly people get impatient or cold if it's just a standard faucet. And then you can get fast drain systems too, so you don't have to sit there so long because you have to wait till it's empty before you can open the door. Some come with ozone cleaners, so this uses an ultraviolet light to help clean it and kill germs. Whirlpool tubs come in a variety of sizes. You can get them to fit into a standard space where you'd have a 5 or a 6 foot alcove tub. You can get them freestanding, walk-in, corner. A lot of options with the type of jets. So you can get water jets or air jets. With the air jets, these are shooting out thousands of bubbles. It gives you a more gentle massage. And with the water jets, some of them come with adjustable jets for the intensity. You can get Whirlpool air-pool combination tubs. You can get these tubs with inline heaters, quiet motors, foot massage jets. You can get chromotherapy.
What is that?
So it has underwater LED lights that set the mood. You have underwater speakers, candle holders. Some of these had racks for holding books.
Wow.
Since the water jets can hold water and cause mold and mildew growth, some of these have cleaning systems. Companies like American Standard have antimicrobial coatings, and that inhibits the growth of the mold and mildew. With the Whirlpool bathtubs or these heated soakers, you're going to need a dedicated electrical circuit protected by a GFCI. So 15 amps on some, 20 amps on others. Most of them are just a 120 volt circuit, but some of these heaters require 240 volts.
Wow.
So I don't think a lot of people realize, the amount of work you're going to have to run.
This is a major project.
Yeah, new wiring. Whenever you're doing electric like this, it's drywall work. You're going to need a dedicated GFCI breaker for most of these. So I would check the installation guidelines before you purchase to see what you're getting into. And then also check with your local inspector for any village codes or restrictions. And you have to also consider how much water the tub is going to hold and your water heater capacity. In general, most of these companies are recommending your water heater should be able to hold about 2/3 of the tub capacity. And with the freestanding tubs, walk-ins, Whirlpool, you're going to have to know the weight of the tub, the weight of the water, and the weight of the largest person using the tub. So when you're shopping, you want to look at the tub specifications. One tub I looked at, it was a clawfoot slipper tub.
What's a slipper tub?
So the slipper tub has that rising slope on the end that you can lay against. So the original tubs looked like a slipper or a shoe, like in the old days. So this acrylic tub I looked at, it was 62 pounds, but when it was filled with water, 611 pounds.
Wow.
Another freestanding tub I looked at was cast iron. So empty, it was 350 pounds. Filled, 813 pounds.
So you wouldn't want to put this upstairs.
Yeah, above a bedroom. One Whirlpool tub I looked at, it was 6 foot by 36 inches wide, acrylic, 106 pounds empty, 1,031 pounds when it was filled with water.
Wow.
Held 53 gallons. They're saying that the floor loading rate was 57 pounds per square foot. Another Whirlpool, 5 foot by 32 inches wide, needed 2 dedicated 120 volt 15 amp circuits, GFCI protected, one for the pump, one for the heater, and the hot water should be 70% of the capacity. So it's 58 gallons, so you need at least a 40-gallon water heater.
Wow.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah.
And the floor support for this was 49 pounds per square feet. So weight is just a consideration when you get into these larger bathtubs. And if they don't have these specs on there and they just tell you how many gallons it holds, for every 5 gallons of water, it's 41.5 pounds.
Wow.
Or 8.3 a gallon. For those of you who are math challenged. I went to the American Wood Council, and they say that most homes are going to support 40 pounds per square feet. So like that that was 57.
Right. So you can't have it upstairs.
Not in the average home.
Because that's without anybody in it, right?
Right, yeah, and you've got to add that weight. So the average home is going to support 40 pounds per square foot, 30 pounds for bedrooms, they're saying. So you need to look at the specs of this filled tub, add in the weight of the largest person that's ever going to be using this tub, and you may have to reinforce the joists under the bathroom. So I would
have it on ground level.
Right, on a concrete slab. So to find out your home's ability to bear a load, I would talk to the local building inspector or get a structural engineer if you're serious about one of these Whirlpool baths. And I would take a look at your existing joists under the tub. So if you've had a previous owner, have they cut into them for plumbing or electrical or vent projects, making this weaker? Yeah. With the solid wood joists, you want no holes 2 inches from the edge, and the maximum hole size is 1/3 of the depth of the joist. You wouldn't want a notch more than 1/6 of the joist depth, and a length of that notch not more than 1/3 of the joist depth, and no notches in the middle third of the span, but you'd want to check your local codes. In newer homes, you could have stronger engineered wood I-joists or open web truss joists.
Why are you telling us all this?
Well, I don't think the tub manufacturers or the retail stores talk about this enough, and it could potentially be dangerous. Or once you get started or buy all this stuff and then you realize
Does it really suck if you're going to take a bath? You're in the bathtub and all of a sudden you come through the floor?
Yeah, it'd be a drag. So with the wood I-joists, you have a top and bottom flange. It's usually 2x4s, and you have a sheet of plywood or OSB. It's centered perpendicular between them. It's forming an I shape. Very strong, less flexing than traditional wood, less twisting. But the problem is you can't create a hole larger than 1.5 inches. And a lot of these are going to have perforated knockouts. But if you are buying a home, had a previous owner who's doing a lot of projects around the house, you can't put notches or holes in that top or bottom flange. It'll completely take away the strength. With this open web floor truss, it's usually 2x4s on the top and bottom. And then they have 2x4s perpendicular and then coming down at angles. It forms this open area. So a lot of room to run plumbing, electric, duct work. And all these boards are held together with these metal plates. But the problem with these, you can't put any holes or notches anywhere in any of the wood.
Wow.
Another thing to think about with tubs is the type of material. And the most popular is acrylic, fiberglass, enameled steel, enameled cast iron. You have composites and stone resin. With the acrylics, they're high gloss, they're more durable than fiberglass. The color goes through the material to help hide scratches. Very lightweight, and a lot of these are going to be reinforced with other materials for strength. They're easy to clean, although you never want to use anything abrasive, any cleaners or pads, and it's resistant to UV. Fiberglass is lightweight. It's a little less durable than acrylic. It scratches easier, and these are usually reinforced with wood or metal. They're low cost, but they can be brittle and easily damaged. If you drop a hard object on it, you can crack them.
That would be a bummer.
Yeah. With enameled steel, these can be heavy depending on the thickness of the steel or the coating. They can chip and rust if they're hit. Usually inexpensive though, very durable, easy to clean. The enameled cast iron are very durable, very long wearing. But
guessing very heavy.
Very heavy. And I would look at the weight limits when I'm looking at it. Usually made for the first floor or a concrete slab. They're going to be more resistant to impact and scratching. With the composites and the stone resin tubs, there's a wide range of materials they use to get the look of marble or other stone. Very durable, but I would look at the specifications and the care required when I'm making comparisons. When you're replacing your bathtub, this is a good time to think about a bathroom remodel.
Right.
Because for most tubs, especially if you have tile above it, that tiling goes down onto a flange on the top of the tub. So you're going to have to remove a foot or two to lift and pull out the tub anyway. So I would just remove all that tile, whatever the cement board or whatever type of tile board you have behind there. Get that all off. It's much easier to redo it. Good time to replace the faucet if you have a standard style tub. You may have to move the toilet out of the bathroom or the sink so you can pull this back and have room to work.
And good time to reinforce the floor.
Float in some concrete. So, I mean, you've got a project, so I would think about everything. Get everything done at once, maybe wait a little longer and plan for a total bath remodel. And especially if you're putting in a heated soaker tub or thinking about a Whirlpool, now we're going to be doing drywall work anyway to run electric and all of this.
What are some tips for removing a tub?
So you want to remove 6 to 12 inches of the cement board or tile above it. In most cases, you're just going to remove everything if you have an alcove style. You're going to want to remove the drain flange and the overflow cover. That overflow cover is going to have 1 or 2 screws. Take those off, and then I would take a slotted screwdriver and poke that pipe on the inside so it breaks the bond. There's going to be a rubber gasket in there. And then you're going to remove the drain flange. And there's a couple of different types of tools that drop right into it, and then you can turn that flange out, unscrew it, and then I would also, once it's removed, tap that pipe underneath so you're not pulling it out with the tub. And then there's going to be clips or screws and washers around the flange holding it in place. Remove that. You're going to want to protect your floor, so either use tarps. You can also put down 1x4s to kind of slide the tub on as you're pulling it if you're not going to change your flooring. And then a lot of times you're going to have drywall along the edge of the tub. You're either going to have to cut it out or, break it and then re-drywall that area as you pull it out, depending on the style. Some of the tubs, you're going to be able to lift it up real easy from one side and stand it on end if it's a light tub. Otherwise, if it's heavier, you're going to have to try to work it out slowly, kind of lift it and wiggle it as you put it onto either cloth tarps or 1x4s. And then depending on the type of tub, if you have a really heavy cast iron, one of the easiest ways, especially if you're in an area where it's going to be really hard to get through doorways and around corners, just break it up with a sledgehammer. So get some leather gloves and goggles and
some loud music.
And it's work, man. It takes a while. So you have to go through all the porcelain coating first, and then it'll start to break up and crack, and then it'll break into chunks. But much easier to get out than trying to, because we tried to lift a couple of these old tubs out of these old homes we used to buy, and wow, it was back breaking. And then somebody said, "Why didn't you take a sledgehammer to it?"
Right, you're not saving it.
I was like, well, who knew?
So if your tub is made out of something other than cast iron, can you break it up?
So if it's plastic or fiberglass, you can use reciprocating saw. I would start at the front edge, just cut it straight down.
Because that's got to be easier than taking the whole thing down.
If it's large, yeah. But some of the fiberglass, even some of the thin steel that's enamel coated or porcelain coated, you can just put it up on its end. They're pretty light with 2 people, and they'll very easily, a standard size, go through doorways and around corners.
Okay.
To install a bathtub, if it's a standard alcove, make sure that you get the overflow drain kit if it doesn't come with the bathtub. That's something you should be checking. You're going to need plumber's putty. I like the stain-free. And never walk or roll the box when you're loading or unloading, when you're bringing it into the house. Most of this packaging is going to have cutouts. So you're going to cut out the cardboard, and you're going to use this on the bottom of the tub to protect it. But I would get a cloth, drop cloth, and put it inside the tub. Then put your cardboard down. It's going to help protect the finish. You never want to walk on the tub with shoes. You're going to scratch the surface depending on the material. Use a level and check the flooring. You might have to use leveling compound. And then position the tub in that space. You want to make sure that it's level, so use your level on it. You're going to take a pencil and mark the top of the tub along the studs, and you're going to use this as a reference line. A lot of tubs are going to require a stringer board. So once you pull your tub out, you're going to measure down, check your instructions, and you're going to install this board on the ends and the back wall. And this isn't supporting the tub, it's just there to keep it from flexing. So you need the tub to set flat on the floor, but on the back end or the back end and the edges, you're going to have this additional piece of wood along the studs, and that just keeps, like if you get in the tub, it just keeps it from flexing.
Okay.
Once you take it out now, you've installed your stringer board, you're going to connect your overflow kit. Some are going to be metal, some are going to be plastic. You're going to need plumbers.
What?
You're attaching this to the tub before you put it back in place.
Okay.
The shoe and the flange, you have the flange that's underneath. It has a pipe that comes out. You're going to use plumber's putty under the flange. Use that drain tool to tighten it down. The overflow is going to have a pipe connected down to a T, which connects to that drain pipe. And that whole section of pipe that's behind and under the tub is then going to connect to a trap and then to the main drain. So you connect all this, you're going to put the tub back in place, and now you're going to either use screws. Some tubs you're going to be creating a pilot hole through the flange like the fiberglass ones. Some you're going to use screws and fender washers to lock that flange against the studs. Some are going to have clips that are going to hold it in place, but somehow we're going to hold this tub in place.
So just read your instructions.
Right. Yeah, every tub's going to be a little different. Some companies want you to set the tub in a wet bed of mortar, and that's going to hold it in place. Others have felt pads. So if it were me and I'm looking at two tubs that I like, the felt pad is a lot easier.
Right, and a lot lighter, too, if we're worried about weight.
All right. A couple of tips for Whirlpool tubs. You want to think about access to the motor. Most villages are going to require access to inspect it, and then you want to be able to service the motor, the pump, or the heater. So create a door or use an access panel, usually 12 inches by 24 inches on the same side as the motor. You don't want to use the front apron as access on most models, although some come with a built-in access panel, so it's very convenient. The Whirlpool tubs with a built-in tiling flange have less leaks than the add-on flange kits. For the freestanding tubs, you're going to finish your walls and your floors. Once everything's finished, then you're going to set your tub where you want it. You're going to mark the outline on the floor. Some models you're going to need access to the drain pipe, so I would consider the shape of it, the location, the size, because in the future, if you ever have to work on a leak, you want to be able to get to it easy.
Right.
Some require drilling into the tub to install the faucet. Some don't require that.
That's scary.
So I would read the installation requirements first. You're going to silicone the bottom of the tub before you put it in place, and most of these are using 1.5-inch tail pieces to the drain plug, so just like a kitchen sink basket, which makes it easy. And then one thing I didn't mention was when you're picking a tub, you can also pick the drain location when you're picking your style. So either left side as you're looking at the tub or right side. It can be in the center or offset.
What are some top-rated companies?
For alcove style, Kohler, Kohler, American Standard, Sterling, and Universal tubs. For drop-in, Kohler, American Standard, Aquatic, Universal, and Max, MAAX. For soaking tubs, Kohler, Ella, ELLA, and the Wyndham collection. And for freestanding, AKDY, Aqua Eden, and Delta.
Do you have anything else to add?
I would compare warranties when I'm looking at the tubs and then pick a style and material based on the main use. So if you're primarily just bathing kids or washing dogs, and then if you're remodeling your bathroom just for resale value, if you're going to be moving soon, sometimes just stepping up to a soaker tub is going to give you the look you want without the expense of a Whirlpool. Now you're worrying about electric, floor strength, the permits, and water heater capacity.
Right. Let's wrap this up.
You can subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, the Spotify mobile app, the Google Play Music app, and iHeartRadio.
If you enjoyed it, please leave us a review.
You can check out our home improvement videos on our YouTube channel, Fix It Home Improvement.
And you can subscribe to that as well.
You can download our books, Home Improvement Solutions, What Every Homeowner Should Know, on Amazon.
If you enjoyed it, please leave us a 5-star rating and review.
You can email us at fixitpodcast@gmail.com.
Thank you for listening.
Talk to you next week.